have this goal, we have this vision, like we know exactly what it looks like. And then we work nonstop to make that happen so that then we can keep doing all the other things we want to do. But if we took the approach that we see a lot of people take of like, oh man, well, it's so exhausting and oh, I really just want to relax. And we do some relaxing, you know, we'll take an hour at night and relax. But the rest of the time we're working. And that's what helps us to get stuff done. I feel sometimes we're overwhelmed. At least for me, I feel more overwhelmed when I'm not making progress on my goals. That's what actually causes my overwhelm. Not so much that I have things to do, because if you're pursuing goals, you're going to have a lot of things to do. And that's a good thing. That's better than not having things to do. But the overwhelm comes for me when I'm doing lots of things and it's not making a difference. But if I have a lot of things to do and I'm doing them and I know that they're making a difference and I can see progress being made, then I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel productive, and that's a good thing. That's a positive emotion. I think overwhelm is a lack of productivity. So if you figure out how to prioritize the actions that you take, and then you take action that gets results, you remove overwhelm because you've replaced it with productivity. If your brain is like mine at all, I've got these open tabs, and that's one of the open tabs, like, oh, this yoga class, I got to finish. And so when I can close down those tabs by finishing off those projects, then all of that bandwidth, I'm able to use it for something else. And so I think that's what causes overwhelm, is this bandwidth of all these things running in the background of like this and this and this, all these things I got to do. And as you start doing them and crossing them off, yeah, now the overwhelm disappears. Another key element of this process, as far as specific strategies, is noticing these sort of patterns and cycles that have to do with hormonal cycles, but also cycles during the day. You will feel more overwhelmed during the day if you are hungry or tired. So it could be the same exact list, but depending on whether or not you've eaten or slept well, you will feel differently about that list.
Yep.
So just noticing that, because I'll be going through the day and I'll feel great and I'm like tackling the world. And then I'll be like, oh, I can't do this. It's too hard. I'm like, oh, I need to eat. And I go eat some food, and then I'm like, back at it. I'm ready, right? So those types of things too, where it used to be, I thought like I became a defeatist as soon as I got hungry and then felt overwhelmed. And then I thought, I can't do it. I need to just give up. It's hopeless. Not realizing the problem was my lack of food, not the actual situation itself. One of the things I do when I feel in overwhelm mode, so applying all these other things, you get food and you get sleep and you notice what time of the month it is. Besides that, if you still feel in overwhelm, one of the main things I will do is make a list. So someone's saying, do you list 20 or 30 projects? If that's how many things are on your mind, yes. I start in my family systems charts with what I just call a brain dump. I write down everything, and it doesn't have to be in any order at all. I literally just write it all down, because otherwise it's like tabs in my brain that are all open. And your brain's not meant to do that. So I write everything down on a list, and then I might let it sit for a day or two. And then I come back to it and I kind of try to organize it and prioritize it. So then I take actions to accomplish that most important goal. Then after I do the most important things, then I feel good doing whatever. Like, oh, well, now I want to work on this. And now I want to work on that. And I'm also trying to plan our trip to Kazakhstan. So I'll do some of that, and I'll do some of this. For me, that's kind of the strategy that works, but it starts by making that list, prioritizing that list, and then identifying the action steps that will help me get those outcomes.